Reaction continues to pour in tonight as a community looks for answers in the death of a Toledo teen. Kimani Latigue, found dead in an abandoned home just days before her 14th birthday. That as the man accused of her own father remains hospitalized more than 100 miles away.
Come here, man.
Don't do it.
What's your name?
Kill me.
Dude, show me your hands right now.
Me, bro.
Pull your hand out of your... I swear to God, pull your...
This case is one of the most horrific cases I ever heard. This is a 14-year-old that was had her hands and her throat almost. This is an absolute animal that came into our town.
That we suspect a family member has kidnapped them and has run off with them, that we have descriptions of cars or locations and stuff like that. Something that we can provide. And for this type of case, it just did not meet that criteria.
Y'all, this case just took a wild turn, and it's not looking good for Darnell Jones, Kimani's father. Investigators just revealed some jaw-dropping details that make him look really suspicious. So right after Kimani vanished, he was acting all kinds of nervous, like he knew something. And get this, his girlfriend started getting spooked when he suddenly told her to shut off all the cameras in her house. Why? Because he needed a place to stash some, let's just say, questionable items.
13 Action News learning it was Jones' girlfriend who helped police with key evidence in the case. The woman who asked that we not show her face, telling Action News Jones called her last Friday and wanted her to turn off the cameras at the home. She got suspicious and didn't turn off those cameras. She says she was in the bathroom when a relative saw Jones move some things out of his SUV, brought them into the house, and hid them under the basement stairs. She called police, who got a search warrant and took the evidence.
As if that wasn't sketchy enough, the moment he caught wind that the cops were closing in, he tried to run. And when they finally cornered him, he pulled a whole shoot.
Come here, man.
Don't do it.
What's your name?
Kill me.
Dude, show me your hands right now.
Me, bro.
Pull your hand out of your... I swear to God, pull your...
Now, folks, we all believe in innocence until proven guilty, but let's be real, the evidence is piling up and Darnell's looking more suspect by the second. And with these new details that the FBI just revealed about what really happened that day, it's not looking good for him. The tragic fate of 13-year-old Kimani Latigue has left an entire Toledo neighborhood reeling in horror. Kimani was missing for a week before her body was found in an abandoned building on March 24th, and the details are nothing short of a nightmare. Reports suggest she endured unimaginable suffering, and now the unthinkable, her father, Darnell Jones, is at the center of the investigation. Something about this case just doesn't sit right, so we've all heard Dorothy's story of how she discovered her granddaughter. Kimani was missing. According to her, she returned home on March 17th only to realize her granddaughter was nowhere to be found. And the eerie part, Kimani's glasses and keys were still there, but she was gone. This girl couldn't even see without her glasses, so how on earth did she just vanish? Her family went into full panic mode. Flyers, search parties, desperate pleas on the news. Now, the whispers have been swirling and people can't help but ask, why was Kimani, just 13, living with her grandmother instead of her parents? A child that young, navigating the world without the everyday presence of mom and dad? That's heavy. From what folks are saying, her parents split up when she was just a little girl, and since then, her grandmother became her main guardian. Sure, her parents were still around, but let's be real. Being present and being there are two very different things. And then, when she went missing, that's when panic set in. Her father, her family, and the whole community was scrambling, desperate to find her. Meanwhile, her father, Darnell, drops a chilling detail. The night before, Kimani had called him, terrified, convinced someone was trying to break into the house. He drove up, checked in on her, and then left. Just like that. No call to the police, no heads up to her mother or grandmother, nothing. Now, less than a week later, Darnell himself was arrested for her abduction. Just days after Darnell was taken into custody, the story took a different turn, one that no one was truly prepared for. In a forgotten, crumbling building on Miami Street in North Toledo, Kimani's body was found, lifeless, abandoned, and discarded like she meant nothing. And if that wasn't devastating enough, what came next would crush even the coldest heart. When the autopsy results came in, it wasn't just tragic, it was monstrous. Kimani hadn't simply been taken away from the world, she had been brutalized. The coroner confirmed what no one wanted to hear. She had been essayed, mutilated beyond, and her throat had been Saying those words is one thing, but imagining what she endured is enough to make your stomach turn. This wasn't just aggression, it was a message. Whoever did this didn't want to just end her life, but rather make her suffer unimaginable pain. So the case changed in the blink of an eye from a missing person to a cold-blooded, calculated, heartless red rum. Detective Brian Steele didn't hold back his disgust. He looked the media straight in the face and called the person behind this an absolute animal.
This case is one of the most horrific cases I ever heard. This is a 14-year-old that was had her hands and her throat almost. This is an absolute animal that came into our town.
But what really happened that night? This is the puzzle investigators are now trying to solve. From the very start, it was clear Darnell was in the hot seat. Not only was he the last person to be seen with K-Manny, but his story about what went down that day kept changing. And honestly, that raised some serious red flags. He couldn't even give a consistent account of where he was or what exactly he and K-Manny were up to, making it all the more suspicious. To make matters worse, his girlfriend called the authorities and told them about shady stuff Darnell had hidden in her basement, and they were recovered by the cops as evidence for the case.
What did he hide under your stairs?
It was like a mat for the back of your truck, not a pickup, but SUV. You know, when you lay your seats down and you put that rubber mat in there to protect the back of your seats in case you're hauling something. That's what he rolled up and put in my basement. And his work boots, which were caked with mud, and he hadn't worked in a while.
And soon enough, a warrant was issued for his arrest. But here's where it gets downright bizarre. Darnell didn't exactly try to clear his name. No, instead of cooperating or asking for a lawyer like someone innocent might do, he just disappeared. Yes, he vanished. Now, imagine how that looked to the police. If you're innocent, why run? Why not stick around, help out, and prove you've got nothing to hide? I mean, this is your daughter who was brutally murdered. But Darnell didn't think that was necessary. But his luck didn't last long though, because eventually they found him about 2 hours away in Columbus, far from the scene where K-Manny's body was discovered. So get this, Darnell had allegedly called his girlfriend and she got to know his location. She immediately gave his location to the police and a SWAT team was dispatched.
And she tells us once Jones noticed the items were gone, she never saw him again, but that he did call her from Columbus. And that's when she told police where to find him.
When the SWAT team showed up to bring him in, he got even more erratic. He pulled out a weapon, and that was the final straw. Sure, he might not have shot at him, but pulling out a strap is a whole different level of threat. The police weren't playing games anymore, and with that, Darnell's fate was sealed.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Dennis in a second! Get medic,
Don't f***ing move!
No cops got hurt during that wild incident, but Darnell, oh, he's not so lucky. They rushed him to the hospital in critical but stable condition.
Up! You need him out of the cuffs? Yeah, we're gonna need him out. All right. We're gonna have to... Hey, listen, we're gonna roll you over one more time, all right? Gotta get those cuffs off you, so you can relax. Clean up. There you go. He's hitting the arm, leg, arm, and I believe left chest. Okay. I get a good search on him. I am.
Everything's got to come off.
You taking him down enough in this?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Pull this off. All right.
Cut the cuff off. Just cut your belly. You guys want to help us lift?
Yep.
Grab the wing, grab the head. 1, 2, 3. Down. We're down.
Hold on.
But get this, the charges against him have been bumped up to felonious. The online community has been expressing its thoughts about the whole case. One online user wrote, "Her parents are responsible. They brought her into this world, so why was she with a grandparent? Shame on her father and despicable mother who couldn't live for her child. R.I.P. sweet girl, and if your soul makes it back here someday, I pray you have a strong mother and father who give you the love you deserve." Another wrote, "Why an adult would harm a child is beyond me, absolutely beyond my level of comprehension. I hope their conscience haunts them for eternity. R.I.P. darling girl." Another user wrote, "Thank God for the girlfriend. If only K-Manny's bio mother was that careful and protective of her daughter, she'd still be with us today. But we didn't lose her. Heaven just took her to end her suffering." So, folks, it's only been a few weeks since everything kicked off, but things are getting really messy. The plot keeps twisting and turning, but no matter how you look at it, it always circles back to Darnell as the prime suspect. It's like he's done for and can't escape. As we wrap up this heartbreaking chapter in the tragic story of K-Manny murder, the pieces are falling into place, and it's hard to ignore the uncomfortable truth that her father stands at the center of it all as the prime suspect. But do you believe Darnell is guilty, or is there more to the story that we haven't discovered yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to stay updated on this gut-wrenching case as it unfolds, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.